What up, what up, what up? What's going on, everyone? Happy Tuesday. I'm feeling good. How you feeling?
Meh.
Yo, get off your phone. Get off the phone. Yeah. What's going on, everyone? I am Shadell, co-host of Paging the Simpsons, joined by my lovely fiance.
The annoyed Lauren because we have to re-record something.
Yo, okay. Damn, put me on blast. So we had to re-record this because the topic we were talking about, it just didn't make sense.
He literally was going nowhere
at all, and I'm like, this is just dead and gone.
So
dead and gone.
You will never know of a topic that we had.
Do you want to bring up that topic? And I'll keep it short. I'll keep it short.
Oh my god! I thought you said we weren't.
Well, give your take on it, because clearly I don't know where I'm going with this.
Lord.
So the topic that we killed there was, it was on a video that was on The Roots on YouTube. They had a video that they put up that was called "Is Dating Getting Young People in the Door to Therapy?" Now, you had a whole side to this, and I guess to keep it simple, yes, because we have gone to couples therapy. What about you? I guess the answer for you is obviously yes.
Well, no, it's not. I mean,
wait.
It's not, because I've already been to therapy way before you. So for me, I started individual therapy when I had health issues at like 13, 14, and it just I stayed in it from there on, like on and off. So, but I had a different situation because my health issues were they were part physical, part mental, and so they thought at the time like starting therapy would help, and then I just kind of stayed with it. Versus, I mean, you have a point, because some people, I guess, wouldn't feel comfortable enough, I don't know, to go to individual, and that's why you're saying
well,
it's then
in general,
when you're in a relationship,
just dating, with you being with someone, it opens things up that you're like, oh, I act like this around this person, or I treat this person like that.
I see where you're coming
whether
from
it's individual couples, you're still going to therapy. Because you're like, okay, why do I treat this person like that? Why do I put them down all the time? Why do I like...
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess it opens your eyes to patterns that you've created or carried on, that you've seen, or you know, things that you want to change about yourself or whatever.
And I feel like... I'm not sure. I don't think it probably wasn't this great for like our parents or like older family members. Like, I don't think them getting into a relationship had them, like, you know, when they had issues and things weren't going the greatest, that they handled it in the best manner. You know, as in like seeking therapy.
Well, I think every generation gets better tools and things come to light more.
What do you mean?
I feel like therapy it was more taboo for our parents and especially grandparents. It was something that was not like talked about. Mental health was overall hush hush, like, or, you know, no, that's not abuse when it actually is, or like, you know, like, I think things were different.
True.
So I think that, you know, every generation just gets more tools and more light shed on situations, and you kind of, I don't know, it's easier.
I will say real quick, everyone, because we didn't top this off, so we wanted to focus on, after last week's episode, Friday, we talked about seeking validation with social media. And we thought having an episode, especially being like a slow news week, just having an episode digging into mental health is super important. Because I feel like in our generation, it's talked about more versus like our parents and their parents and, you know, so forth. And I thought this was super important, you know, just to put some light on and kind of say like, yo, you're not alone. Like, we all go through the same struggles, no matter what race, color, whatever. I just thought this was a super important episode just to talk on.
Another heavy one, sorry.
I mean, it may be heavy, but it's like, I don't know. I think it's cool when people are talking about this, because when you're out there, or when you're on like Instagram, or you're like, we talked about this on the last episode, we go on, everyone's like on their happiest, they're taking pictures while they're on vacation, you know, out in the sun on the beach. Like, you don't hear about like people going through these things. So it's nice. It's nice to hear, even though it may be a heavy topic.
It's kind of funny because you have both sides of the spectrum. You either have the person on Facebook that never stops complaining and like always has something to say, and like every 5 minutes the world is ending and stuff, or you have like a lot of people who, yeah, it's just a highlight reel. There's no kind of like in between. I try to be an in between, honestly. I try like more often, even if it's just like Instagram or something. Like, I don't know. I try to be an in between where I'm like, no, like, you know, this really sucked, or like this, you know, I'm feeling this kind of way. But I try to put a positive spin on it, but I try to be like real. So I'm not just like, my life's perfect all the time and like, you know, la-di-da. I mean, obviously on my business Instagram, that's different. That would be, you know, better looking, I guess. But on my like personal one, I try, you know, sure, it still looks mostly highlighty, but I don't know. I try because I also don't want to be a Debbie Downer. Like, you know, it's this weird balance because you don't want to be, you don't want to be one of those that's like people dread seeing your stuff because you just always complain and you're like always a negative Nancy. But then I also don't want to be like completely unrealistic where it's like, no, my life's really this perfect.
Yeah,
like, I think it is important to be a little more real online.
I like to be non-existent online.
Yeah, you do.
Me. Like, I'm just kind of like chilling. I don't post anything. I'm just sitting here liking every now and then. Like, yeah.
People are like, you still alive?
I just poked you. Let me stop. I didn't poke anyone.
Who you be poking?
Just my friends that are all guys. All my guy friends, of course.
Okay. I guess we have something to talk about later.
So, to dig more into this, because we have the luxury of going to therapy with us being, I guess, the more aware generation.
Sure.
There was a video that came up from the Breakfast Club where they talked about like having had issues with your parents. Now, at least to me, I feel like it's pretty common. I don't know how I even word this. That we've had some type of issue with our parents, and it's not like some simple where like they like mistreated you because they didn't handle a situation right. Like it was probably like an extreme, probably leading with the physical or emotional abuse that I feel like a lot of us have like dealt with our parents, and that we're trying not to push on to our kids because I think we're more aware. And you're just looking at a bird outside the window. I see.
Cute. He's cute. Aw, you made him go away. There was this bird just like little hopping like on our little banister, and he's like hop, 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 and he would just look at us, and it was cute. Okay, continue. But, I'm listening.
So that's what I want to talk about because it's interesting. You know, shoot, I gotta think how old I am. Being like 25, going on 26. You know, within like the next
80? Like, dang.
Within like the next like 5 months here, I'm just like, I sit back and think, and when I have these conversations with my mom, and I have these non-existent conversations with my dad, I'm like, it's so.
Okay, we just.
It's no.
We just went in.
It's so interesting.
Okay. I was not expecting that. He just like went for it. He's like, nah, this is it. This is how it is. I don't care.
No, but like, I'm sitting here thinking about it because like growing up, I'm sure we all had this parent. Like my mom was a nag. Like, complained about everything. Like,
why are you saying that? Because she's a female?
No.
Rude.
I mean,
don't call us nags.
Nag also. But
rude.
Like I would get in from like school. Like I'm a kid, of course. I get in from school and like it would on site there'd be some problem. I did something wrong. I did something like there's always some issue as soon as I got in.
Yeah.
And like like over
and
time.
You're like, how? I was at school.
What?
You're like, how? I was at school.
Pretty much. Like what I do wrong?
What?
Like like it was always
for like 8 hours. I was gone.
But like. And then as I grew up, I started like seeing her patterns and like what she would like nag at, and I'm like, okay, I see you. And now I'm sitting here playing chess with you because I know you're gonna complain about this. So like one of the simple things I remember was like dishes. She would always complain about the dishes, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do one of two things, which is probably both, depends how I'm feeling. But I would always clean out everything that I used. I would wash all the plates I used, you know, everything. I'm like, I got that. not gonna get on me for that. And then if I'm feeling froggy, hey, I'll clean all the plates in the sink. I'll clean all the plates in the sink. I don't care.
That's such a fun phrase.
And I'm like, okay, she chilled off me for the nagging. Now she's nagging on my siblings still, saying, yo, why isn't this like this or why that? But I'm sitting here cool.
Because Shadell does this.
Yeah.
Why don't you do it? Man, you were a terrible sibling.
No, but I learned the game.
No, but you made it worse for your siblings.
I don't care. They got to learn the game.
That was awful. Shadell does this. Why don't you do?
But
he's so good at this. Why aren't you? Oh, you're a terrible
But like one
sibling.
of the things growing up was always like the belt. And the black families know. If you don't know the belt, then you know like freaking going out and getting a stick.
We were just like laughing about something.
No, like I'm getting real with this because it's like I'm just trying to give you guys an idea of what I'm talking about, so we can get into the next point here.
That's not just a black family thing.
It's not, but like we had earlier, what shows and what movies have you seen where...
Well, that's the problem, okay? It's a problem on both sides that shows... One, it's a problem that shows always show dark skin being aggressive, like as if that's all you are. And then it's also a problem that they show white people as just being like... These perfect, like, la-di-da, or nice, like ditzy, or like, you know, are you gonna apologize for that? Okay, next time don't do that, and that's it, like that kind of thing. Like, what? Both sides are screwed up, okay?
Well, it's like, a running joke with my friends where I'm like pretty much they can like slap their mom, and she'd be like, hey, Jimmy, don't do that.
Stop.
Don't say sorry, Jimmy.
No,
like, you know, like,
that's not true.
But growing up, that's what we would joke on
but you know it's not true. See, I think some people really do believe it's true. That I mean, there's exceptions to every rule, but you have to remember that's any race. That there could be, you know, the nicest pie, you know, black mother, and there could be like the ruthless white mother. Like there could be. I've
never been white a day in my life. I wouldn't know that.
I understand, but I'm just saying, like, this is definitely one of those things that across the board, people use things to hit, people beat, people abuse.
But I say this, I say this, and I paint this picture. My mom's a cool person, great person. We get along. Just throw it out there now. But I say this because growing up, seeing my stepdad and my mom like always fight and get physical and yell and scream and like always have these issues, and I'm like, was therapy, like, was that not even talked about at any point in this? Like,
the thing is, even if it was, they both have to be open to going to therapy. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not sure how much my siblings are affected by this because they were younger, of course. But like seeing, like, being like having to hold back your mom or your stepdad from fighting and like throwing things at each other, that's something that kids should not be doing.
Yep.
Am I getting too heavy?
Nope.
I think I'm getting too heavy. And it's like...
I agree. I'll say that. I'll say that.
I'm going to take your silence for a yes. Yes, that you agree. And
yeah.
And it's like, we've talked about this where it's like for example, I feel like we've said this before. I plan on if our kid does something silly, stupid, dumb, whatever, and they're like little, I'll give them like a little tap on the butt and sit them in the corner. As you grow up, I'm not getting a belt. I'm not getting a stick. I'm not doing what my mom has done to me and my stepdad has done.
Worse degree of,
exactly. Yeah. I'm gonna say you shouldn't do this. Talk about whatever happened and better ways to approach it next time or whatever the case is. And I'm gonna take something away from you. Because at the end of the day, let's say if this kid...
That's very white of you.
Shut up. No, that's stupid. Get out of here.
See, but that's what people would say.
No, that's some BS. But, so for example, because this is what's going to happen in the real world. You go out there and you pick a fight with someone on the street, and cops come, they're going to take you away, and hey, your stuff is gone. So I'm just giving you a mild version of that. I'm just that's what's going to happen. You keep acting like this.
And I'm taking your comforter off your bed because you wouldn't have this in jail.
Yeah, that's ruthless. I'll be down to do that.
Right? Just take the covers or take like the pillow.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned that because what happened to me, I'm sure you know this. I'm not sure how it is for you guys, but growing up, like being in middle school, high school, the cool thing was going to the mall every Friday.
Yeah.
So there's a time where my mom didn't, like, for whatever reason, my mom didn't want me to go to the mall. I'm saying F that. Yo, I'm going to the mall.
I remember this story.
Did you?
Yes.
So my friend went.
You told me this, like,
my friend came and, like, picked me up, him and his dad or mom, whoever it was, and went to the mall. And, I feel like you go to the mall, like, there's a set time. Like, you go to the mall, like, 6, 7, you chill there for a couple hours, see all your friends. It's like, what up, what up?
9,
you hang groceries, leave around 9.
Yeah.
Yo, my mom told me, she's like, if I go to the mall, I'm not coming back into the house. And boy, was she not playing at all. I got home at, like, 9 o'clock. I think I rang the doorbell. I'm pretty sure I called her. Like, nothing at all. I laid on the porch until the next day. I knew my stepdad was going to work, and he's normally out the house by like 5, 6 o'clock. I was normally on the porch till then, that whole night. And I remember a dog passing by, and I was like, yo, please. It was a big dog. I was like, yo, please don't freaking, like, see me and come up to this porch and try to attack me. Yo.
You looking like dinner.
Yeah, so as soon as my stepdad comes out, after me being, like, literally on the porch, like, falling asleep, like, trying to do my best to, like, not die from, like, some stranger probably walking by and being like, yo, why is this, like, some teenager on the porch just chilling so late at night?
Yeah.
Like, oh, man. So,
I remember that.
Got in the house, and I forgot what my mom, she said something that blew my mind. Well, she was like, what would she say? I feel like she said something along the lines of like if you would have called me if you were out there or whatever, I would have answered or something like that. And I'm like, I did try calling you, like, or something along those lines. I feel like if it got like to like a later extent, I feel like that's what she was referring to. Like if it got to like 12 o'clock, 11, like she would have came out and like opened the door.
That's so funny.
Because she was just playing, like she didn't actually mean it. But I'm like, yo, what? I called you when I was freaking outside. You didn't answer the phone.
I have a similar story. Okay, so when I was like little, as a family, me, my mom, my dad, and my sister, we went to like one of the elementary schools near my house, and we went like to play on the playground and like, have a little fun, whatever. And it was time to go. And I really did not want to go.
Oh,
like,
God.
I was hell-bent on not going yet. So the three of them get in the car. I'm here, like, I'm not getting in the car. I'm just standing there.
Yeah, I'd leave the kid ASAP. Like,
they drove away.
Did they not come back? They came back.
I'm here, aren't I?
I mean, you may have walked. May have got a stranger.
No, what ended up happening, and they tell me to this day, they didn't actually drive, like, all the way home or whatever. They literally drove, like, past where you can't see the car anymore, and it's, like, bushes and whatever, and then they turned right back around. So like it was like a minute or something. It wasn't like some long prolonged time where I'd get like abducted. I mean, well, you never know, just saying, but like, and so then they came back, and it was one of those like shock things where you learn where you learn your lesson and you're like, okay, shit, I'm never gonna do that again. But when I tell you, I was like petrified when they left. Like I was, because I was little at the time, so I was like, oh my God, like, what am I gonna do? Like, is someone gonna come take me? Like, I'm gonna die. Like, I just wanted to play. Like, it was. So here's my thing with something like that. Since I'm someone who doesn't have kids yet, I can't say for sure that I would never do something shocking like that. Because I understand when you get to a certain point and you're just like, listen, this kid is not listening and I'm so fed up. Like, sure, I get it. Like, you kind of do something that really shocks them, because that really does make a kid learn. They snap out of it and they don't do it again. So, like, I get it. But at the same time, dang! I'm like, did this lead to some of my attachment issues? Like, separation anxiety? Hello? Like, dang!
So, I mean, those stories that we have, it's all in good fun. I wouldn't say there's anything bad. But I sit back and I think there, I'm like, do you think, I don't know what the thing is. Like, what would be the reason? I'm trying to like unpack this in my mind as to why, like, so growing up, I'm just trying to do a deep dive with this. Why my mom would always like want to complain about something. I think I have an answer.
Wow, he just had an epiphany.
I feel like I could be totally wrong on this. I should probably ask her. But I'm like, I feel like the reason there was always nagging, there was always complaining that things aren't right, I feel like because she's comfortable in that environment of there always being an issue.
Yeah.
I
mean, it could be what someone's normal is.
Yeah, there's always
Usually
being
people
a problem.
repeat things that they're used to. You know, like that's just, I don't know, either how she grew up or how...
I don't understand this at all. How,
and it's subconscious is the thing a lot of time.
See, can you understand this for me? How does someone feel the need to get a belt or a stick and hit their kid with it?
You're asking me to try to understand that.
Okay, so you can't. Because I don't understand it.
My understanding of something like that is that something like that probably happened to them.
Yes.
And they passed it down. Because this is what they know. This is what they equate to love or parenting or whatever you want to put it as. Usually when it's a cycle of abuse, that's their version of it.
See,
like that's their like.
I get it, but don't you sit there and like I don't see. I'm not in my parents' shoes.
Like,
I don't know what was happening at the time, but it's like, don't you sit there and question that? Like, it's not good to have your son or daughter sitting there with like welts from a belt. Like, yo, that would pain me.
Again, I think generations ago this was normal. This was not something that was questioned.
What?
So no, like when they had welts or bleeding or whatever, I don't think. I honestly do not think that stuff was questioned.
See,
I don't. And I think as time goes on, it starts to become more and more of a thing. I do think nowadays it's going a little extreme in the other direction because like I know that people will say like you can never even like spank your kids on the butt, like
man,
that's abuse.
I'm giving my son
and
and
I'm
daughter
like,
a little
okay,
tap on the
that's
butt.
like that's way too far. Like the thing is like I feel like with anything there has to be balance and like a happy medium.
My mom used to like when I was a kid, she used to give me those little pinches. And I was like, oh,
I know,
shoot.
that's why you hate when I pinch you
I
now.
will take a belt over a pinch any day. Like, ow.
He doesn't. You know what's funny is you're all like, I don't have vices and I don't show people vices and stuff, but I know that one.
Okay, I'm gonna start pinching you.
It's hilarious.
Like, that's what you're telling me.
No, it's hilarious because every now and then I'll like go and I'll pinch him because he's like, no, but it's usually when you're really annoying me or something. I'm like, okay, stop, and like he gets mad. Like he is not. He was like really scarred from her pinches.
I don't like this now.
Anyways,
I don't like this now. I swear I'm gonna get you back.
What? Please don't. What I was saying. What I think too with like the whole spanking thing. I don't think spanking is abuse. Okay, especially if it's on the butt. It's not like face, arm, like hitting like hard enough to hurt the kid. Like what you do. Okay, here's what I heard. One of my friends years ago, and she's older than me. She's like my parents' age. She was someone who was abused a lot as a child, and she kind of helped me believe like you don't have to like continue that with your own children. And so she basically said how there were a few select times, and she has 2 daughters that are like adults now, and there are a few select times when she would spank the kids. Like other than that, she would discipline in other ways. There was this one time, I remember the story, she was saying that one of her daughters ran across the street when she was screaming at the daughter not to because she would have gotten hit by a car.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that is serious.
And so it was one of those instances where this is something real that like, wow, you need to listen to because you almost died. So then she took the daughter and she laid her over her lap on the curb, and she gave her like the 3 hardest smacks on her butt. To the point where, okay, this now shocks the kid. It does hurt some. Like, the kid was crying because now they're probably totally overwhelmed by what just happened and everything. But, like, what she told me is what she'll do is 3. Her number's 3. 3 spanks so that 1, it gets the point across, but 2, it does not lead into the cycle of abuse for her, because once you start to go past that, that's where now you're into the territory of now you're doing what your parents did and you're just getting like off by this.
And that's what
it's a problem.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, spanking's fine, but when it becomes excessive, like when you're hitting the kid, one, too many times or
Right.
just too much in general,
or in the wrong area. Like I think the whole spanking on the butt is it's a
Like,
good one because it's cushioned enough where it's not going to hurt the kid. You still feel it and it's still a shock, and it's also if it is not too often, if it is just like when you really need to get the point across, because if something physical becomes too often, you're not actually teaching the kid anything. Now it's just ingrained in them that, oh, when I like slip up slightly, now I'm going to get this.
Yeah.
Like you're not actually helping the kid if it's a pattern.
I feel like for me, like being in like the little timeout thing, it really didn't do much for me because I hated timeout. It teach me how to like play in my mind and to like whatever, like just to use my mind more. So I was cool with it. But when it came to taking things away, that's when I died.
See, I would do both. I would get timeout and things taken away.
Whew. Yo, they took things away.
Awful.
Like, what I'm going to do when that happens for us and we take things away, I'm going to take things away and just bring it into my car if it's not, like, big enough, if it's not, like, super huge, like a TV or something. I'm like, yo, let me take it in my car because you're not going to take the keys and go out into my car. Maybe you will, and if it does, yo, we're already having a problem. But, I don't know, something like that. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like I just want to talk about this because I feel like it's something that we all go through. I think it was good. I want to get into like these two like related mental health issues that I want to talk about here. So I want to get into these topics here. As soon as this wants to load up here, there we go. They both relate to mental health, and it's like, so this one. Oh man. So this one's interesting. So this person says, my parents tell me I'm not crazy, but everyone else says I am. Who is right? Should I be afraid constantly? This person goes on to say, I'm having a panic attack almost every other day at this point. I'm utterly and completely convinced that the U.S. is going to turn into the world of A Handmaid's Tale, where the women lose all their rights, gay people are publicly executed, and we have to live in hiding or escape to other countries. The inevitability of Roe versus Wade completely secured those fears for me. My parents have been telling me this ever since Trump was elected. They told me that people like me, because this person's gay, are going to be locked up soon, so I should be afraid for my life. And this is the beginning of the end. But anytime I tell other people this, including on here, which is, he's making this post live for everyone on Reddit there, he says, nobody takes me seriously. I don't know why that is. I'm genuinely afraid for my life every single day. Some people have suggested I need serious help, but I feel okay. I've always been this afraid over something as far back as I can remember, and I always assumed that it was normal. My parents tell me that constant fear is good and therapy is brainwashing. They think mental health professionals are evil and trick people into believing false realities. I honestly don't know what to believe anymore. Everyone says I'm crazy, but my family tells me I'm not, and I don't know what to do. I'm utterly and completely confused. Can someone please help?
Okay, first of all, the people on Reddit are going to tear her a new one because this is political.
No, it's not.
It has to do with the whole...
No, it's not.
What's the word I'm looking for? Republican regime and all this and with Trump and it. Yeah.
Not everyone thinks the same. Hold up. You're on
but she brings up the abortion thing. We just talked about it.
Okay.
And how it's taking women's rights away, and then the next step is gay. Okay. Because the Republican agenda is not any of that.
I'm looking at it straight from her parents being horrible people and literally telling her horrible things.
So here's the thing I'm confused with. I thought her parents were the ones saying she's not crazy and everybody else is saying she's crazy.
Her parents are trying to flip it, so so I'm assuming it's a she. I don't know for sure. Could be a he, because they don't say he or she or they or what. I don't know how.
Could be a they, gender is fluid, but okay, continue.
I don't know. Could be whoever. But what it sounds like is the parents are trying to be like, hey, come to us, trust us, even though we're sitting here telling you, it's only a matter of time until they take you and all this stuff.
So they are okay.
Exactly.
Okay,
They're saying that therapy's brainwashing. Like,
well, no, I heard that part. Okay, because that confused me because I thought it was better because they were trying to say she wasn't crazy. I thought that was better than everybody attacking her and saying she is crazy.
Nope.
But then I also the whole brainwashing thing, like, for example, so my dad doesn't believe in therapy. He just doesn't.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't agree with it. He's like, why do I have to pay someone to tell all my problems to when I can talk to just someone else? Like, and it's very it's very baseline where he's coming from. But, like, yeah, because it's that simple. But at the same time, there are different methods and strategies that these people use that help you. So I don't know, but so, like, I get where they're coming from there because, again, a lot of that generation and older may not believe in it as much.
I don't think that's, but I get what you're saying, but I really think the family's just trying to be like, yo, we got a hold on you because we're telling you that, hey, you're not crazy. We still love you and all that stuff. You shouldn't go see therapy. You shouldn't go do these things that are pretty much gonna,
and she wants to.
This. I don't want to say she wants to, but she doesn't. She's confused. She doesn't know what to do. And, like, this is a perfect example where it's like they probably don't like her and him, whoever this person is, him or her, and they're playing games because this person is gay. Because you're sitting there telling your kid that, hey, they're gonna take, and it's not a joke because you're saying this more than once,
right?
Like, you're saying, hey, Trump's elected now. They're gonna take you away. You're gonna have to start hiding. You're gonna start, like, and it's not a joke. And you act like they actually mean this. And they're like, and they bring it up. Oh, look at the abortions. This is going back to the. Like,
I mean, this is a tough one for me because at the same time, I feel like they're not so far fetched. Like, dare I say, they have points.
Yeah, but
like, the time we're in is scary. The time we're in, we do see,
but they're using
similarities
it as a fear
to
tactic.
Holocaust. We do see similarities to taking, women's rights away and all this stuff. So, like,
they're using it as a fear tactic, though. I get what you're saying, but for your parents to use it as a fear tactic is what that's what it sounds like to me.
And I think that's where parents sometimes will confuse trying to be helpful and actually scaring the kid.
Trying to be helpful.
Well, because you know what I mean? Like, I feel like they'll say it in a way that's like, oh, no, I was just trying to help them because I wanted them to know, like, the truth, or I want, that kind of thing. But really, it's, like, hurting the person because now they're more messed up.
Dog, if I knew this person and I knew their parents were saying this, I would have a problem. I'm telling, right off the jump, it would be a problem. Like, no, that makes no sense to me. Like, it just sounds like they're trying to be like, all your rights, everything's being taken away from you. And it's not just like, who continuously says this to you? If they're not trying to, like, scare you into doing something to a certain extreme, we'll say. And you're saying therapy's brainwashing?
Well, then they must be okay with this person being gay. Because it sounds interesting because wouldn't you think the people who, like, hate gay people, then they believe in, like, all the conversion therapy and all that, wouldn't they want this person to go to that?
I don't think so. I don't believe so at all.
I don't know. This is a tricky one.
I mean, you can have that point if you want to. That's just how I feel. It's suspect. It's suspect to me because I'm looking at it and it's like they're gonna have a panic attack. They say it almost every day because they're just so convinced that the U.S. is gonna turn into a Handmaid's Tale.
Who the person?
Parents are horrible. That's what I'm going with. Parents are horrible. Her parents are horrible.
Oh,
depending on how old they are, because there's no age. Yo, get out. Get out. Get out. Watch the movie Get Out and get out.
No, oh my God. I will say it does help when you get out of your house and you're able to, like, form your own thoughts and opinions and, like, become more you versus like your parents trying to like assertively put their ways on you and like their opinions.
Yeah.
Like that does help.
Like, yeah, you feel your way on it. I completely feel like it's a scare tactic to keep their hold on this person, being like, no, you're not crazy. Everyone else out there is crazy. Look at that. They're calling you crazy. Like,
it's
no,
just interesting because I feel like I hear of it more opposite, where it's a scare tactic and the person is like insulting the person.
I don't think so.
Like that's more what I know is like, you know.
I mean,
like more of the parents being like, no, you're like you're crazy and you're awful and whatever. I feel like that's more common, but I guess
think so. Yeah, like everyone that's looking at this, they're pretty much siding with like her parents are horrible. Or I keep saying it's a her, even though we don't know.
I don't know.
So for this next one here, I want to touch on is this one is how to deal with mental health issues in a relationship. I thought this was pretty interesting.
Oh boy.
So this person goes on to say, this is a girl, she's 23, have been dating this guy who is 26 for a few months now. Everything's been going great thus far. We've been exclusive for about 7 months, and one could say the relationship is committed and stable. I've been finding it difficult to deal with his chronic anxiety. I understand mental illness and want him to know I'm there for him 100% all the way, but it's hard as I don't know what's enough and what isn't. He gets anxious about everything in life when seemingly he has it good. And she puts in parentheses, he has a great career, great opportunity, no financial problems. He also gets breakup anxiety whenever we butt heads over conversational topics and gets insecure when comparing himself to my exes. I don't know what to do or how to cope. I love him. I've advised seeking professional help while always telling him he can talk to me if needed. But it's getting worse and worse, and I don't know where he's at mentally.
I mean, a lot of that makes sense. Like right off the bat is you know, this person may have dealt with stuff in the past, like maybe, you know, this person gets really nervous about breaking up every time there's an argument. They may have been threatened of that in the past, where like, you know, every argument with another significant other was, okay, then let's just break up. Or maybe it did end up in a breakup or something like that. So that could be like kind of PTSD sort of. And like all the other things, like they make sense. Like he might have experienced this stuff, you know, like, and it's one of those where it's tricky because that's where you should get help, because it's then not healthy to bring it into another relationship because the person is different. And like another thing is he needs to like tell her outright. And I think that's where getting help would help him, because then he would know what to say. Like, what is something that triggers the anxiety? If my anxiety is triggered, what can you do to help me? Like, you know, like I'll tell you, like, you know, sometimes I just need to like hug you and have like a squeeze. Like, you know, if I'm like really anxious or I'm really depressed, like sometimes I just need like a squeeze, and I need to like take deep breaths while I'm like squeezing, and then it kind of helps bring me down, or like something like that, you know, like, but it's different for everybody, because the next person might not like touching. So it, you know, and that's something that you kind of figure out with someone. And as you go along, doggy. Oh God. Oh,
they let their dog loose. Yeah, I'd be freaking out if that was like our dog and she was just out there like, you know, we're saying they're recording the podcast, we see her hi, I'm like, guys, we'll be right back.
Right? I'd be like, Missy!
It's like literally right across the way. Like, no one's gonna grab this dog.
Oh, this girl, she's so she's
cool.
So nonchalant.
He does this all the time.
Right? Like, whatever. Oh. They went from both sides and got the dog. That was funny.
Oh man.
Oh my god, it was a little white fluff like Missy.
So,
anyways, back to our regular scheduled programming.
they've been in this for 7 months now, and she's getting exhausted. So it's at what point?
At only 7 months? Sheesh.
But you gotta sit there and think. You're dating this person, and you see them like you have these fights with them. You have these like everything. They're worried about everything. And it's like, at what point do you bring this up and saying, hey, you should go get therapy to help yourself? Like, because you shouldn't be sitting there, like, so uptight and worried about every single thing. Maybe this
would be something, like, going back to what we first started talking about, maybe this would be something where it would help if she brought up that they went together, and then it would be a segue into him getting his own. Maybe it's one of those where he just needs the support. And maybe if they went to couples therapy and then, like, you know, the therapist there could be like, well, I think it would be beneficial for you to get individual therapy. Maybe that would be like a smart way to go about it so that, you know, she's not getting the brunt of it, but that, you know, he's then getting the help. And it's a supportive way because she's saying, you know, I'm here with you. I'm going to do this with you. But I do think this is important.
So would this be something where, like, I would find a place for therapy? I would explain the situation. Because I feel like unless they need to have couples therapy, it would probably just be best for him to start.
Right, but I'm saying it could be a segue.
Like, it would be, like, I would say, like, for me, I see, like, this person, like, his girlfriend reaching out and to, like, the therapy place.
Right.
And setting up an appointment and explaining, like, can we both come in? I think it'd be beneficial for my boyfriend to go have a therapy session. I just want to join him if that's fine. They'll probably be fine with that, whatever.
Yeah.
And yeah, I can see how that would be helpful.
Like it's the holding hand, you know, like because he's a really anxious person, so he may just need that little bit of extra push or support to do something like that.
Yeah.
Because it's scary for a lot of people. It's unknown. It's you know, it's vulnerable to tell someone everything.
Which is interesting because this goes back to the first topic we had earlier, where it's dating getting you into therapy.
I know, it's kind of funny
because this person wouldn't
go full circle.
This person wouldn't go to therapy if they weren't in a relationship. They'd probably be like, I'm cool. I'm just gonna stay here. And it's one of those. I think when
people have anxiety or depression and they haven't gone to therapy yet, and they're not at like that place. I don't think that it's that they think they don't need it. I think it's just they're so in it that it adds something to it. So, like, if you're an anxious person, I think it adds anxiety to have to go to therapy. Or if you're a depressed person, it makes you more depressed to think, I've failed because I have to go to therapy, like that kind of thing. I don't think it's that they don't want it, because I think they want to feel better.
That's true.
I think it's that it's making that condition worse in a way. So I think getting through the door and just if you can support the person in that way, that's important. And then it shows him, like, I'm here for you in the ways that you need me to be.
That's true.
Like, I think that's pretty incredible.
Yeah. I like that idea.
Right?
I'd be totally up for it. I would hit this person and say, like, can I get an update if I tell you to go do this and that? Like, give me, like, a update months later.
That's weird.
I mean, this person's asking for advice. Like, how is it weird?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm super interested. I like this episode. I really thought it was refreshing. Refreshing. Like a cool drink on this hot day.
Yeah, it's almost 90 degrees.
Oh, man. That's what I got.
Okay, for you Arizona people and all you dry heat people, listen.
My friend in Florida, he's like, man, it's freaking 87 over there. Like, that's nothing. Like.
Right, like you people who get to 110 degrees and it's awful and whatever, dry heat has nothing on humidity. Come to New England. Like, because it's just heavy and you get sweaty easier and smelly and it's like wet and it's just, it makes it so much worse.
Yeah, like when
you're just gross.
I feel it for those people in Florida. Like when I went to Florida last October, man, for it to be October where you normally know it's cool,
right?
And it just
and see, they have heat and humidity, so they're even worse than us.
I was so drenched. I was just like, I just want to go back in the AC and just be cool, and just the outside is not for me.
Yeah.
Oh man, but yeah, that's all I think that we got.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm super curious if anyone's willing to share. We can put in for the next episode. If anyone wants to share their story on mental health or anything, feel free to hit us on social media, Facebook, Instagram. All the, links and everything is in the description, or you could email it to us if you'd like.
Did you know we have a Pinterest now?
But who really uses Pinterest? Let's be real.
Did you know we have a Pinterest now?
No one uses Pinterest.
Guys, did you know we have a Pinterest?
Okay, you're extreme.
No, people like my business Pinterest.
Okay.
People use it. It's a huge search engine. Pinterest is like Google.
Okay.
It's huge.
Okay.
So, if you'd like to follow our Pinterest, it's also Paging the Simpsons. And we pin our podcasts, our videos, Tesla stuff, puppy stuff, beauty stuff, Twitter and Instagram stuff.
I really don't tag much on it or pin stuff on whatever the heck you do.
Okay, we as in I pin stuff.
Pretty much. I just sit there and
I'm trying to build this over here, and he's like, man. I don't do Pinterest.
I'm just trying to sit back, relax.
However, we're at about 1,000 monthly viewers now, so you're welcome.
Well, you could thank me.
I'm saying that's Pinterest.
Yeah, exactly. You could thank me.
Why?
I'm the one. I'm the one pinning my Instagram and my tweets and all that stuff. Working hard over here. Oh man. So that's all I got. Anything else to add to this?
Yeah.
Mental Health Awareness Month episode.
Follow us on Pinterest.
Oh my god. All right, guys.
That's all I got.
I think we're gonna wrap this bad boy up here. Once again, sorry for the bad audio last Friday. Hopefully this is a lot better. Thank you for sticking into it there. Yeah. With that being said, guys, as always, I'm your co-host Shadell, joined by my lovely fiance
Lauren.
And we'll see you guys on the next episode.
Bye.
Peace.